Now, this next guy here gets obviously a little bit more than 12 years. Seems like it's 263. Now, to be fair, this guy is a whole lot worse than the last guy. So, buckle your fucking seatbelt for this one.
It was 2 a.m. on June 18th, 2014, and Mr. Holtzclaw was driving to his residence in his assigned vehicle. On his way home, he made a traffic stop of driver Janny Liggins, a 57-year-old woman. She pulled over and waited for the officer to approach her window. Now, what happened next was a blur of confusion and terror. The officer, Daniel Holtzclaw, made no attempt to report the traffic stop to police dispatch, and instead ran a records check on Janny without her knowledge. He then ordered her out of the car and made her lift her shirt and pull down her pants. She was paralyzed with fear as Holtzclaw forced her to perform oral sex on him, threatening her with violence if she didn't comply. When it was over, Janny fled the scene, feeling violated and ashamed. But she knew she couldn't stay silent. She mustered the courage to file a police report, hoping that justice would be served. Fast forward to the following afternoon when Holtzclaw reported to the Oklahoma City Police Department Spring Lake Division for his shift. He was pulled aside and driven to the department's Sex Lake Division. Fast forward to the following afternoon when Holtzclaw...
neck. He's got the neck of a fucking football player. It's almost it's just as wide as his fucking head. Okay. Look, my neck is like fucking small. Look at this shit. Shit is just as wide as his fucking head. I bet he's gonna be giving up that fucking neck doing 263 years in prison though. What you guys bet?
Claw reported to the Oklahoma City Police Department Spring Lake Division for his shift. He was pulled aside and driven to the department's sex crimes unit by detectives Kim Davis and Rocky Gregory. Before the questioning can even begin, we can tell that it's already looking bad for Daniel Holtzclaw. Out of the myriad of things that went wrong, some of them included he didn't report the encounter to dispatch, he turned off his GPS, and he logged off of the computer.
All of the most shady things you can ever do as a cop is like these are, because like a lot of this shit is really to protect you. It's so that people know where the fuck you are, what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, to get you fucking help if you really need it, right? But you turn that shit off yourself, you're probably doing something a little bit shady.
Now, let's jump into the interrogation. After the officer is Mirandized, he describes what he saw at the station with his colleagues and starts to open up about the stop.
Okay.
So just like anything.
You had said, and we told you that there was a traffic stop,
Right.
that somebody made some allegations against an officer.
Right.
They don't know the officer's name, none of that. And you said that you made a traffic stop after work,
Yeah.
but you didn't call it in.
I didn't call it.
Where was that?
It was about Northeast 50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
Okay. Tell me about that stop.
I was going westbound on Northeast 50th, probably a block just...
So this dude definitely knows he raped a woman at this fucking traffic stop that he's talking about. And they're investigating allegations of sexual assault, right? So this dude should be like really fucking on edge right now. Right? He should be really fucking scared. I mean, but I guess he might be trying to play it cool. That's it.
East of Lincoln, I see a red Grand Prix or Grand Am in my right lane, in the outside lane. I'm in the inside lane. The car swerves, and so at the time I'm thinking, okay, it's probably a drunk person, or maybe he got excited because they saw a cop. So I kind of fall behind it, kind of drifting just a little bit, not crossing lane lines, nothing crazy. So I lighted up because at first the traffic violation I saw at first when it swerved. That was just west of Northeast 50th in Lincoln. And then made contact. It was a black female. Asked for license and insurance. Stated that she didn't have insurance, gave me an ID. At the time I'm like, do you have a valid insurance or a valid license? She said no. I told her, I just got off work. I mean, what's the deal? Why are you swerving? And she says, I'm just trying to go home to Ann Arbor-ish on the northwest side to see your daughter or something like that. So I asked, is there anything on board as far as the vehicle? Is it okay if I search your vehicle and whatnot? She said, the only thing that's inside there is a Kool-Aid cup. I'm like, is there anything inside of that Kool-Aid? Is there liquor or anything inside that Kool-Aid? She's, no. I'm like, okay, is there anything else inside there? She says there's pills. I'm like, is that the only thing? And then, so I said, can I have permission to search your car?
Where the fuck is this going? Like, actually, like, what is she trying to do with this? Like,
She said, yes, I go inside the car, I see a lot of pills. But,
What kind of pills?
I didn't really.
Like scattered pills or in a bottle?
She said
pill?
it's hydrocodone pills, but I just quickly looked at it, and I think I saw her name on the prescription bottle, so I didn't.
Oh, so it was a bottle.
Right.
Okay.
There were several bottles in her purse. And then, so at that time, I just returned back to her. It's like, okay, I saw your pills. I didn't see any alcohol. I sniffed the drink, didn't smell any alcohol in the Kool-Aid. I'm like, okay, I'm just off work. I'm tired. Get your license taken care of. Just mine.
So she didn't have a driver's license?
She didn't have a driver's license, and I was just like, go to DPS, Department of Public Safety on King, get that taken care of, and I cut her loose after that.
The description here seems fairly innocent, and not close to how Janie Liggins described it. The interrogator needs to keep asking questions to get a pattern of the story.
Okay. Then where'd you go?
I went straight home.
How was she? Was she respectful? Was she
She
not?
felt like she was nervous and whatnot, and I'm like, why are you nervous? And she was even crying. I'm like, why are you crying? Why are you nervous? Whatnot? And she's just like, I don't know. I'm just nervous because you're a cop and I got pulled over. I'm like, nothing you had to be nervous about. And I told her, I'm like, I don't really want to take you to jail for no SDL or anything. I just got off work. I'm tired. So, with my officer courtesy or whatnot, and said her go get that taken care of tomorrow. Let her on her way.
And you don't have to. I'm not going to sit here and go, why didn't you take her to die?
Well,
That's
that's the reason why.
No, I don't care. Was she drunk? Did you think she was drunk?
I think she was. She drank, but I don't think with my experience, I don't think she was past the legal limit.
Right.
So,
I mean,
and that's what I asked her too, is like, with your pain medicines, the hydrocodone, everyone knows that you drink with that, it maximizes the effects. So I asked her that, she said no. But when she was in the back of my car, when I was in the front car, in the driver's seat, I could smell it off of her, but I don't think she was still past the legal limit.
Okay. So you got her out of the car?
Yes.
Okay. And put her in the back of your car?
Yes.
Okay. Any problems there?
No, she was cooperative. Didn't give me any problems or whatnot.
Okay. And then you searched, did you run her through Unit 800?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Mm-mm.
So, did you run her on your MDT?
No, I didn't. All my stuff as far as that, because I didn't even call it in and say it was a traffic stop, my computer was off and everything as well.
Did you shut it off?
I just shut it
after
off,
work?
yeah. On the way, on 50th, I turned it off right before the traffic stop, basically.
Okay. And where did you pick her up? 50th and what about?
50th and Lincoln, just to the west.
But no, where'd you see her swerve, kind of?
I'd say a block just to the east of Lincoln and 50th.
Okay. She pull over right away?
She was in the right lane and the outside lane when I saw her swerve. And so she saw a police car right there, and so she kind of did what everyone does, slow down. Kind of, okay, is he going to pull me over or not? And then I lit her up about 50th and Lincoln, past the intersection to the west.
Okay. When you put her in your car, did you pat search her?
When I came around, I was like, lift up your shirt. Is there anything on you? Anything as far as your waistband or anything like that? She said no. And then I put her in the vehicle and went from there. Asked her everything.
Did your hands go on her at all?
I backhanded her on as far as the side.
Where on her body? Tell me. You
Her
backhanded?
her waist, and the back portion. I didn't touch her butt or anything, but the back portion of the waist. And then she lifted it up like right here, and there's nothing.
Did she lift it up like this?
No.
Okay. So she never, like, went, whoo, nothing,
No.
exposed her breasts or anything like that?
She asked me if I was like, no, it's okay.
She asked you,
If you want to search me, I'm like, no, it's okay.
so she never, like, put her hands on the car and you...
No.
Okay. Where was she positioned or standing when you did the back of your hand on her?
Probably the front right fender, of my patrol vehicle.
But was she facing you, or was she turned?
No, she was facing away from me.
And you just kind of did it like
this?
this?
Yeah, back there, yes.
Okay. Did your hand go on her butt or anything?
No, that's what I was saying. It was the hip, the side, not the butt section.
What about right here?
No.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
They can tuck a gun
That's
right here.
why I asked to lift it up.
Oh, so she just kind of showed you her belly?
Right.
Okay. Then you talked to her for a little bit.
Right.
After you searched her, you put her in the back of the car.
Right.
Then we used to always kind of keep the door open and talk when they're not like combative or anything. Did you talk to her and get information then while she was in the back of your car?
Right. I talked to her for a little bit, just as far as what's inside the vehicle. Can I have consent to search your vehicle? Is there anything in that Kool-Aid? She said no. Just talking to her, what's the deal? Why are you driving late at 2 o'clock at night? Why did you swerve?
God, this dude is such a piece of shit. Like, that's the thing. I think he's taken shit from like old traffic stops or other traffic stops, and he's using that, except in using her in place of what happened. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't believe him hearing this, right? Like, cause he's already a cop. He's already got benefit of the doubt. Theoretically, like, I don't know if I wouldn't believe him hearing this, which is scary to me. Maybe I need to work on like not trusting people.
She's going to Ann Arbor over on the northwest side to visit her daughter, I believe. So.
Then you went up and searched her car?
After she gave me consent to search the car.
How long, you think?
I did a quick search, to be honest with you. I looked under the seat, boom, sniffed the juice, whatever she's had, and I didn't smell alcohol in it. Went through her purse, like she said, there pills in it, looked at it real quick to see if their name was there, and that was basically it.
Okay, then when you went back to her, what happened?
And when I went back to her, I was like, okay, I didn't smell any alcohol on your car and your juice thing, and I'm like, what's the deal? Are you really drunk or not? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to go back home. And at that time, I was like, okay, but I'll go ahead and follow you. I said, I'm not going to take you to jail. I'm tired. I'm not going to take you to jail. I'll go and follow you. And let's go back to 44. And you head westbound on 44. So that's what we did.
Did you follow her?
Actually, when I went behind her and we got in the car, she took forever, and I started getting annoyed. So I just U-turned it, and I went ahead, and I saw her in the back view of my rearview mirror. And she was following at 44, but then I took off going northbound on Broadway Extension, while she took 44 to go west.
So you were able to see her do that?
Yes.
And go. And then did you lose her when you got on Broadway?
When I went to northbound on Broadway, and she went 44 west.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like this is the lady, this is the deal where she's the complaining party. Okay. And she's making some sexual allegations, obviously, because sex crimes is working it.
Right. What did she say?
Well, was there anything, an accidental touch, anything?
If she thought it, when I passed searched her, but it was nothing as far as I felt like I would do anything as far as sexual or anything like that. For my safety, I just checked to see if the weapons or anything. To make clear, I didn't touch her butt, but the waist side and whatnot. If you would like me to do it for you to show you.
No, and I'm fine with it, and you have every right to do that.
Right.
She's saying that you made her lift up her shirt, and when she lifted up her shirt, she exposed her breasts.
No.
Did you ever see
I asked her, is there anything inside your bra? And she said no. So I was like, okay. And she said, you want me to show you? And that's all the time I said, no, you don't need to do that.
She said she said she was doing this. When you said, is there anything inside your bra? And she was going, no, I don't have anything like that. Did she do that?
Yeah, she did, but I didn't look or anything like that.
Right.
And then she was like, do you want me to show you? I was like, no.
She said when she said, do you want me to show you? You said, yeah, and she went,
No, I didn't.
But could she have been, woo, flashing you? And
Right.
now you don't want to tell me because you're afraid you're going to get in trouble?
No, when I told her no, I said no.
Then she didn't go, yeah,
No.
because sometimes drunk girls are,
Having a good time.
and
No.
partying down, and let's face
And
it.
I've already heard stories about.
Who the fuck was that creepy dude in the background? Is that your only contribution?
She didn't go, yeah,
No.
you know, because sometimes drunk girls are,
Having a good time.
yeah, and
Who the fuck is this creepy asshole?
No.
partying down. And let's face
And
it,
I've already heard stories about officers
people
and
want,
whatnot.
they
so
want
I don't
officers for
I didn't want-
hubbies
so
or
I said
whatever.
no.
And
I said no.
but you could have said no. But I'm asking you if she flashed you anyways.
I didn't see her. I didn't
didn't
see
see
her
no
breast.
boobies?
I didn't see her breast.
Okay. What about pants?
Nothing in her pants as far as that concerned. 'Cause she was wearing tight jeans. So
She said she pulled them down.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see her pulling down?
I didn't see her pulling down pants.
Could she have done it when you were up searching the car?
She could have. I didn't
Did
have
she
her.
have them on
I didn't have her handcuffed or anything.
when you came back to the car and got her out? Were her pants fastened? Were they?
Yeah, everything.
They were out. How long do you think you were on that traffic stop?
I don't think it was an
It's not a
excess of
test.
over
Just
a regular speed. 15 minutes at most, just like a regular traffic stop. Nothing as far as more.
15 minutes. How long were you with her? How long of that 15 minutes do you think was searching her car? Where maybe she's sitting in the back seat.
Like I said, that quick search probably at max, maybe a little bit over 5 minutes. Maybe like 5 minutes if
So you're with her for 10 minutes.
talking to her. Yes.
Did it take a while to get her to consent to search, or what? 10 minutes is a long time.
She was nervous and she was crying and stuff, and I told her not to be
Did she
nervous.
say why she was crying?
She says police officer and whatnot, and I'm just nervous because I got stopped by a police officer. So I'm like, calm down, everything's fine. And then, so I think maybe with the fact that she had no STL, maybe she was nervous as well too. And then so I went to the search, and it wasn't that. It was a quick search, like I said before. It wasn't in detail, pulling up carpet. It was a quick search.
Because you're just ready to go home.
I was ready to go home.
Did you go home, go straight to bed?
I went home straight to bed.
Okay.
This part is important. The traffic stop was a total of 15 minutes, 5 of which were spent talking to her and putting her in the back of the patrol car. The rest of the 10 minutes were spent searching her car. This would still be a big enough window of time for him to do what Ligon said he did. But with so much inconsistency and no hope in the questions, the other interrogator requests him for a buccal swab. Now, for those of you who don't know, the police collect buccal swabs to find the link between sex crimes. The weirdest fact here is that even though his buccal swab was collected, this was never...
This was the famous picture of him where he was just like crying like a little bitch when he was being prosecuted.
brought up anytime in the future. Back to the interrogation.
So do you usually do traffic stops on what home, or what was...
I don't. Like
I
I
missed
said
that.
before, I rarely don't. I usually try to get home because I'm tired of them and
Well,
shit.
and are you a big DUI worker?
When I first started coming out, I did. But
Hated DUIs.
not really at the end now, to be honest with you.
I usually, if I see somebody swarming, I whoop the other way.
And that's what a lot of officers do too, so.
Well, Daniel, this is kind of one of the things that we kind of bring it in here to
Right,
see how truthful you are.
right.
Now, you need to kind of think of a few different things here.
Okay,
Okay, we pulled up a lot of video around that area
Okay.
after these allegations.
okay.
Now, he's right about the surveillance video, but it was yet to be seen before this interrogation.
Okay, she also had a SANE exam, which you know what that consists of.
Right,
There's a reason why we wanted your buckles.
okay.
Okay. Now, I mean, we can go through a couple different things
Mhm.
of why we've got you in here, but you sure there's nothing you want to?
Nothing.
So,
Fucking SANE exam? I say Oh, sexual assault nurse exam. Okay, so it's basically like a rape kit, I think.
a SANE exam, which you know what that consists of.
Right,
There's a reason why we wanted your buckles.
okay.
Okay. Now, I mean, we can go through a couple different things
Mhm.
of why we've got you in here, but you sure there's nothing you want to?
Nothing.
So if we go off the video and watch that,
Right.
you're still going to stick with your story.
Yes, sir.
if we go off DNA?
DNA as well.
Should we show you the video?
If yes.
You do want to see it?
Yes.
His confidence in wanting to see the video and openness in giving his buccal swabs leads us to believe that he's complying and is true to his side of the story. This can either be by the fact that he's telling the full truth, or maybe he secretly knows that that evidence won't turn up anything big. So far, he's stuck to his side of the story, and there are really no indicators of guilt noted. No change of tone, nervousness, anxiousness, nothing. He may be telling the full truth.
Yeah.
The interrogators change the pace.
It's not just me. It's not just me. This dude seems like it's not like, hey, if I would be hearing this, I wouldn't have any reason to not believe him.
Try to rule out the possibility that the buckle they collected and the footage they got can incriminate him.
You see my concern here.
I'm just listening to you, sir.
I know, but I'd rather listen to you and you start talking.
That's all I have, sir.
Are we gonna get something from the SANE exam?
Go with the SANE exam.
Do you understand that you don't have to full-blown ejaculate to get something out of the SANE exam?
Right.
We can get skin cells, we can get pre-ejaculate, we can do all that and still get DNA.
Right.
And did your go in her mouth?
No, it did not.
Okay. Because DNA will clear it up, and here's the deal too. We can fall on the sword.
Okay.
And say I screwed up or something, but if we say we didn't do it, and then the DNA comes back and says he did it, then we have a huge problem.
Right.
We're here to give you the chance to fall on the sword, so we don't want a huge problem. We don't want a huge problem for you.
Right.
We want you to fall on the sword so we don't have to fucking stab you with it and then cut your head off. Like it's fucking Dead Island. Okay? Which apparently is what he preferred too.
This is time. It's time. If it touched her mouth, if it touched the inside of her mouth for 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you gotta tell us now.
Look, there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in between being forced and some old girl who wants it.
Right.
Okay, we've had plenty of that.
We get that. We know that.
Okay, but there is a big difference. Okay.
Right.
But I'm just saying, these videos ain't helping, and we're gonna do the comparing and all that.
Okay.
Okay. But it's not looking good so far.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't want to see anybody go down for something that there was no force.
Right.
Now, I'm not seeing any beating or anything like that.
Right.
Okay. I'm not seeing that big time, big guy forcer type thing like what we do see.
Right.
But
if it was a get out of jail free card, that happens.
Right.
And we know that happens.
After so much pressuring, Daniel continues to stick to the truth. Or should we say, his truth. Now, the detective switches gears and talks about another traffic stop that made the same claim.
Let's switch up for a second. You had another girl. Okay.
It's getting spicy. 2 girls now.
Tess, I want you to clear up my name. I want you to clear
Because
up.
you know what? If this is a bunch of false allegations, then I want it cleared up too.
Right.
And I'll help you clear it up, and it's this. We don't talk. It's not it's swarming around Spring Lake. It's out there.
It's just in the department too. So,
And it's not swarming all over the department. We in sex crimes, we do not run around and go, guess what? This is what we're working. We don't do that. It's not professional. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's around Spring Lake.
Right.
And everybody's gonna know that we pulled you down here. We tried to do it as discreetly as we could.
Right.
But, and like I said, there's officers that, I'm not saying being with the hookers is right, but it happens.
Right.
And it's life.
Right.
And if that's what this was, lay it out there for me now.
Right. No, it wasn't. No.
Did she offer anything? Don't take me to jail, I'll do this, I'll
No,
do this.
it was
Did she
she.
offer you anything?
I think she was nervous, like I said earlier, and maybe a little flirtatious, but nothing crazy.
She never offered anything
No.
in exchange for you not taking her.
No, she's really worried about going to jail, but
And sometimes they'll say, hey, I'll give you a
That's
Hummer
it.
if
Yeah.
I don't go to jail.
No.
She didn't offer that?
She was nervous, like I said, she cried earlier.
She's really trying to give him an out, or she's trying to get him to admit anything, I feel like. Because if you get him to admit anything, like, you got him, right? Like, if somebody commits a murder, right? Let's say that you're a cop and you think fucking Jill killed Jack. You know, you don't go to Jill and say, hey, Jill, did you kill Jack? No. Well, first you got to just put Jill in Jack's house or wherever Jack died. You just got to put her there. Like, did you go to Jack's house today? When's the last time you saw Jack? Were you over there? You know, when's the last time you were over there? Do you think your neighbors could have saw you come over there? Like, you know, things like that is you know, how I think I would do if I was a cop.
Did she cry as soon as you stopped her, or after she was in your car? When did she start crying?
I think in the car, yeah.
What made you let her go? Number one reason.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I want to get home.
Then why'd you pull her over?
Like I said earlier, I just cop, swerve, DUI, and if I had to do it, I would have done it. But I didn't think that she was past the legal limit.
The next breakthrough comes after a while. And before that, they ask him about bringing up a polygraph, ask him more personal stuff about his sex life and his physique, talk about whether he takes steroids or anything. Then they finally ask him to submit his uniform, the same uniform he wore during the 2 traffic stops.
Uh-oh.
He does claim that his underwear's in the washer, but the uniform is the same. Even so, he complies to give the interrogators anything they need to clear his name. Now here's the breakthrough. The detectives ask him for his girlfriend's number to confirm her side of Daniel's story.
Does she work? Are we gonna, if we
She
call
does work.
Does
She
she
works
work now?
normal 8 to 5 hours, Monday through Friday.
Where does she work?
At a Crest and Oil Memorial in MacArthur area. Around there.
We're getting those tie back so you go.
Don't call her. Okay. You created some more work. We were fixing to go. I just talked to Carrie.
Okay.
She said she was asleep when you got home and you did not try to have sex and you did not have sex.
They try to have sex.
She said you didn't. And I asked her, could you have been asleep? And you had kind of, no. And she said no. You did not try to have sex.
As much as I don't want to involve her, I tried to have sex with her and she was asleep. Carrie goes to sleep pretty early, about 9, 10 at the late.
Okay, but she would know if you tried. I'm a woman.
I know.
And my husband comes home in the middle of the night and I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been asleep. You said you twirled around her
I did.
and you put it in a little bit and then she said, I'm tired. No.
I did.
She would remember that to tell me.
Shoot. Maybe.
She said you did not try to have sex.
And it's more personal because it's Carrie, but I did try to have sex with Carrie. I did.
I don't know what to say. I mean, because it just looks like I just caught you in a lie. And now I don't know what to believe.
I'm telling you.
I don't know what to believe
Okay.
because you tell me this, I go to verify it. She tells me the opposite, and now I'm wondering what you're telling the truth about.
Maybe because she's
Nothing.
She doesn't know what the heck's going on.
No, she doesn't. I didn't tell her.
And I'm glad, but detectives calling her, any other officer asking her a question like that,
I know.
she may be scared. And I don't want to involve her, but
She's involved
that's
because
my
you
girlfriend. That's like
you need her involved for you.
right.
But now she's given the story that you're not given.
I'm telling you, I tried to have sex with Carrie, my girlfriend.
she is going to remember your weenie twirling around her hoo-ha. You remember that. I'm sorry.
This is, oh my God, how many grandkids do you have? Like, oh, she is so wholesome. She's like one of the most wholesome detectives ever. And she's still gonna fucking pin your ass for almost 300 years, bruh. Can you believe that? You got the fucking Mrs. Rogers of detectives, and she's about to fucking pin your ass for 263 years. Oh, I love it.
I don't care how much of a sleeper you are. You remember because it pisses you off in the middle of the night and you go, are you serious? Don't bother me with that.
Maybe you should call her and ask her if she's a deep sleeper. Because there's multiple times I've tried to do that. Multiple times we've had sex. Multiple times she has pushed me off.
Well, you told me that you have sex every day, and she says you did not have sex today.
We didn't have sex today. No. We didn't.
Well, you said you have sex every day.
Mostly every day, yes.
So if I call her back, is she going to tell me that you'll have sex every day?
We did not have sex, but recently, mostly every day, yeah.
I'm a woman, and I know what it feels like to be woke up for sex, and I don't like that. And you remember it, and I don't believe you.
His girlfriend claims that they didn't have sex, even though he continues to stick to his story. Another point to note is that he said he has sex every day. Well, now he's changed his statement to, quote, mostly every day. Now, we're unsure why she would lie about that, but now the interrogator has something to work with.
This is a really
There's also
weird,
the possibility that
this is a really weird fucking point of contention to get him on. Oh, you don't fuck every day? Oh, really? Like,
detective didn't call his girlfriend and made up this logic just to get him to break. But this theory disproves after he starts getting calls on his cell later on.
I'm telling you the truth, I'm sorry. I tried to have sex with my girlfriend. I did.
I don't know, you're a dude. Does your wife get pissed off if you try to wake her up in the middle of the night?
She had white thong on and a t-shirt. And
okay, you talk to him. I'm going to go call her again.
Okay.
Because right now, I don't believe it.
Hey, the pants.
You want me to bring him in?
Yeah.
In a plastic bag?
Yeah.
I mean, a brown paper sack. Okay, don't start yet.
I don't know.
And that's probably her message or whatever. I don't know.
She's like, what?
And
what the fuck is going on with this
Well,
male
we're not
detective?
Well, we're not going to tell her. You're going to have to explain whatever the situation is.
What's what happened?
You got any questions of all this?
I'm getting attacked now. I'm just feeling, oh my God, bless. I want DNA, I want everything, I want, get it done.
We're going to put it to the front of the line, okay?
Get it done.
I can tell you, it usually takes a long time, but because of the situation, we will put it at the front of the line, okay?
Yeah.
Once again, his innocence compels him to bring up his cooperation, and he once again agrees to give everything just to clear his name. After this, he calmly removes his uniform because he had agreed to submit it as part of his evidence. By the end, he's told that he's put on administrative leave with pay until the investigation takes place. Officer Daniel Holtzclaw loomed over the city and media for months. Accusations of sexual abuse, including rape in the first and second degrees, sexual battery, and stalking, had been the talk of the town. Plus, the police were able to find 13.
Bruh, he was targeting fucking everybody. 53 to fucking 22. Like, he was fucking targeting these women, bruh. Mostly women of color.
Women who came forward. Holtzclaw was arrested 2 months after that grueling interrogation and charged with 16 counts of sexual abuse offenses. As his trial loomed, his family staunchly defended him, claiming that there was no DNA evidence linking him to the crimes. However, on December 10th, 2015, he was convicted on 18 of the charges, with the jury recommending a staggering 263 years in prison. Despite the harsh sentence, there were many parts of the case which compelled many to look at the other side. This is why we believe that to make an objective view of this case, you also have to look at Officer Holtzclaw's side of the story, more specifically, his defense. Let's first consider the fact that he has no prior history of being a racist or an abuser of women to any degree, be it sexual, physical, emotional, or otherwise. According to his defense attorney, quote, "Not a single ex-girlfriend, classmate, teammate, one-night stand, coworker, not even an acquaintance. Nobody would say Daniel was anything but quiet, respectful, kind, and focused on his girlfriend, career, and his physique." Then we come to the victim profile. They were all black women with a drug history. The defense claims that Lieutenant Timothy Musney of the Oklahoma City Police Department arbitrarily ordered detectives to compile a list of all black females that Holtzclaw had come into contact with, regardless of whether they had a criminal record for drugs or prostitution. It was a shocking move, one that defied all standards of fairness and justice. Detectives Kim Davis and Rocky Gregory took on the task with relish, randomly contacting women on the list without any regard for their innocence or guilt. As they worked through the names, the list soon took on a life of its own, becoming known as Daniel's quote-unquote perfect victims in the eyes of the prosecution and the media. But at the jury trial, the prosecution denied the existence of this insidious list, even though police records were full of direct references to it. Now you might think, how can 13 women lie all together? And how can their profile be so matching? Well, that may be because they were the kind of women contacted by the investigators. It's also interesting to note that Lieutenant Timothy Musney suddenly retired in 2019 after being placed on administrative leave and being asked to come in for an internal affairs interview regarding how he handled an undisclosed sexual assault investigation. On top of that, more accusers were found to be not credible. 62% to be exact, according to the defense. In reality, there were 21 accusers, of which 8 were eliminated because they claimed to have been assaulted after Daniel was put on administrative leave. Of the 13 left, 5 resulted in acquittals. One of the acquitted accusers was Shardarian Hill. Her 2-hour-long police interview led to a confession of her getting attacked by a police officer, and she described someone similar to Daniel Holtzclaw. But the real cause of the acquittal was what she said at the end.
So this is good evidence?
Well, you tell me.
I think so, because I mean, y'all, even if he didn't even rape nobody or nothing, he's been in contact with people that he arrested.
Oh, fuck.
How can someone who spent hours claiming that Daniel sexually assaulted her even think of saying...
And the plot fucking thickens.
Quote, even if he didn't rape nobody. Hill's allegation resulted in 6 criminal charges, but Daniel was acquitted of all 6. Then there was Ellis Smith, who was counted as one of the accusers in the case, and also the reason why he's serving 62 of those 263 years in prison. In 2019, a never-seen-before deposition video was released where she admitted to never seeing Holtzclaw before until the trial. In the call and the interrogation, she revealed that her attacker was a black man who was shorter than him.
Okay. I have received a tip on, I work in sex crimes, and I've been working some cases, and I received a tip that you may have been sexually assaulted by a police officer.
Yes, I have. But I didn't say anything because I know that I know police department and police say all stick together.
Well, we ain't sticking together on this one.
Oh, okay.
So I would like to interview you.
I didn't ever get his badge number. I don't know anything. I was terrified. I just didn't know what was going on because he said I'll do that, or he was going. I don't know. I didn't know whether if I still did it, or is he going to take me to jail or what. It was a black man.
Okay.
He was in a black and white police car.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Tell me
Wow.
the description of him.
He's black.
He's black male,
Muscular.
muscular. How tall, could you tell? You're pretty tall. How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'11".
Is he taller than you or shorter than
Maybe
you?
like right here, maybe like that.
So you think he's shorter than you?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of car did he have?
A black and white one.
Black and white car?
Oklahoma City police car.
Okay. One more question. When you described him as a black male, what, and I don't know, everybody's like, are you? Are you a medium color? What's your skin tone to you?
I'm light.
You're like, okay, what was he?
He's darker.
He's darker than you? Darker than your skin tone? Okay.
Miss Alice, do you recognize this individual?
Yes, I do.
Okay. How do you recognize that person?
From court.
Okay. Do you recognize that person from any other time in your life?
No.
She hadn't even seen Daniel Holtzclaw before the case, yet she's the reason he's spending 62 years in prison. Lastly, we come to the lack of search. That's right. Remember how in the interrogation he consented to the investigators to access his clothing, personal vehicle, cell phone, computers, and apartment? Well, the detectives never chose to exercise those options. Now that you've seen the interrogation and the evidence, which side are you taking? And what do you think can be the reason for so many accusers to come up other than the actual crime? Be sure to tell us in the comments below.
What the fuck, bruh? Okay, what would be the reason, though? Like, what would be the reason behind doing that? I think I know what's going on. Is since one police officer is getting accused, if others seen him once, they'll try to get him arrested. Also for money, etc. Some officers are shoving their allegations to him for a scapegoat and also clearing themselves. That's so funny. Other officers are like, they're putting stuff. So it's like everybody put all of their fucking allegations. So the black dude, no, yes, that's why he's hella mad, bro. Because he's like, I have to do the time for everybody in the department. Oh, I don't even know if that's really the reason, but that is fucking hilarious. And I'm going to go with that one.